Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here. I'm going to speak just briefly because there is a full-blown sermon today, which is the Solemnity for us Catholics. It's not just January the 1st, but the Solemnity of the Mother of God. It's the closing of the octave of Christmas. So I'll just comment briefly about starting this new year and how should we do this. But Mary treasured all these words and pondered them in her heart. You know, I pray often, praying more and more these days, that I can see the world through God's eyes. Because when we look at the world through our eyes, through my eyes, through your eyes, you know, we see a lot of beautiful things, but people sometimes become oblivious to the beautiful things. All they can see is dreariness of bad news, of, government mandates, of all these things, of stress, of fear. And they almost become like there's a covering over their eyes, and they forget the beauty of creation. They forget to see, I think, and not, I can't read people's minds, but so easy to forget to see the world, to pray to see the world through God's eyes, even though we may go through lots of stress and all, the suffering and so on. I mean, people have really suffered this past year. A lot of people have died. Loved ones have died. And that just can't be diminished. I'm not trying to in any way downplay that, but we really have to try to see the world through God's eyes. Mary saw her own son, treated horribly, go through his passion, tortured beyond human comprehension, and crucified before her eyes. I have no idea what that means to see a child, my child as a woman, dying this way. And yet Mary would not have been depressed. Suffering? Oh yeah. She was suffering, all right. She was sorrowing, but never sad in the sense that sadness for herself. But her love for her son was causing her heart to break. So to see the world through God's eyes, the closest thing the scripture offers us is this idea that Mary treasured all these things and pondered them in her heart from the gospel of the day in the Catholic liturgy. That Mary saw everything from God's perspective. She tossed them. This word, pondered them in her heart, is the Greek word. I can't remember it. I've read it somewhere. It's like tossing a salad. It's like tossing it up. So she was tossing these things around and seeing how they all sort of fit together in a harmonious whole through God's eyes. In the fullness of God sent his son, born of a woman, born under the law, to deliver from the law those who were subject to the law. St. Paul, Galatians. So that's why Mary was so trusting in God. So as we begin this new year, I just invite you, Catholics, of course, we need to go to Mass. If you can, there may be mandates where it's not possible, then keep the day holy to the Lord and try to view Mass through, a YouTube channel. But if you can't go to Mass, you need to go to Mass. And because it's a privilege and it's an obligation for us as Catholics, at least in Canada, 2 days, Christmas and New Year's. There's more in the States. But to just start the new year with Jesus Christ in the Mass, start the new year with Mary tossing these things in your heart and saying, Lord, last year is gone. Now I'm looking with you to this year. Give me Mary's eyes, her heart. Help me to toss around your word in my life, and to see how it will provide strength for me, how it helps me to see you're working in all things. So God bless you. May you have a blessed new year, one day at a time. See the world through the eyes of God, and like Mary, toss all of his holy and precious words around in your heart. God bless you.